Yo, what up, family? We live. Um, I want to welcome you guys to Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, with my brothers Juquarry and Damon Armstrong.
Hey everybody.
We're here for everyday reasons, for everyday people. There's everyday conversations. We didn't have a guest this week because I guess we all three of us wanted to talk to you guys personally. You know what I mean? Get to give you our perspective and just on just personal things. Nothing more, nothing less. This is gonna be a laid back episode, and then we're gonna go ahead. And I apologize if there's any delay, but you know the app that I'm using is sometimes it get a little hanky. But when y'all make me rich and famous, it's gonna be like I'm sitting next by you. But let me start by this. Basically, what we're into is this. We started this podcast just to have conversation with everyday people about everyday things. You know what I mean? Because see, me personally, I don't know. I don't want to speak for my brothers, but me personally, I've always felt like everyday people are the ones that make the world go around. Everyday people are the people that you and I look at. When we were in college, when we were living in our younger 20s and 30s and 40s, and even in our 50s, where we're trying to, understand this crazy world. So what we do, we give you an opportunity to make sure that you give, just everyday people's responses. All right. Now, do us a favor, man. Go subscribe to our channels, like our videos, man. Our first step is 1,000 subscribers. I know I have a whole lot of people. I mean, not a lot of people, but I got 1,400 Facebook friends. Look, guys, if you hear this, let's go subscribe. I want you to look at our videos, but the one thing I want you to do is subscribe so we can be put into a situation where more people can reach us. You feel me? And I appreciate you in ahead of time. So, with all that said, go to Strong Perspective Podcast channel. Like and subscribe. We appreciate you for that. Juquarry, how you doing today, man? How was your week?
It was a long week, man. It was hot. I mean, I thought I was melting away like the abominable snowman in Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
Every time I went outside, man, I was just burning up. But it was a good week, man. I'm above ground, still progressing, I imagine. And just piggybacking off of what you said, I just went on as you were speaking and posted on my on my Facebook page that we was on live again. It's like third or fourth show that I did it, and ain't none of my people came on. I'm wondering if it's because they all is in they pending in my friend request thing again.
So what do you mean, bro?
I don't know. I scrolled just on the whim, man. I scrolled through, like when you have friend requests or people pending.
Yeah.
And half, the majority of my Facebook friends is in that list. I don't know how they got there.
Wow.
That's why y'all just need to have one doggone Facebook page, man. Like, I don't know what's a hack or what, but y'all dropping the ball on us, man. Y'all need to check us out.
Yeah. Damon, what about yourself, brother?
Oh man, just been hanging out with the wife, man. She on vacation, so hey, we just been ripping and running and doing us.
What's going on, sister-in-law?
Hey, sister gal.
And today I was out in my garage, man, because I looked out there and I was like, man, I ought to be ashamed of myself. So I put in about 2-3 hours out there.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, just chilling.
That sounds like my house, man. My house, I need to be ashamed of my house. So shit, I just keep the door closed.
I got you, dog. I got you.
I hear you.
Hey,
Yeah.
do me a favor. I'm going to answer. It's one of the questions I'm going to answer. Tell me, man, and I have to be honest with the people who watching, if they're watching, and the people who are going to watch in the future. What I just did in the beginning is protocol if you want subscribers come to the channel, right? But the thing about it is, I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision why we were doing this, me personally, because each and the three of us have our reasons why we're doing it. And one thing I had to X out is trying to gain a lot of subscribers because I wanted them to hear me. Because I felt like earlier I had to break out of it. What I did to ask for people to go subscribe to our channel, it felt like begging. And I think that's a old school point of view, because it's like this. Me, when I know that I have a friend, and I'm just speaking real truth here, that's doing something, and it's, even if it's a difficult thing for me to do, and I say I'll do it. But if it's simple, I'll go do it for them, right? And it's like, it's a shame where you have to be heard when you feel I feel we three have a great platform. But it's a shame when the people are not busy and they still don't partake. At least come in for a couple minutes. Hit us up in the comments. You feel me? Like we have our regulars, which I love you guys. Thank you. But it just seems though, it's like, is it human nature for guys and guys and girls to be resistant to be supportive, or am I being extreme? That's my question right now. So anybody can answer that for me.
Man, I think I'm going to decide to err on the side of the fact that I don't believe a lot of people know that what we're doing. I just at this point, that's just how I'm gonna be thinking, man. Because anything else to me is negative, and it's non-productive to the process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That people just don't. They don't know what we got going on, man. They don't know what we got going on. I mean, it can't be no kind of hate. We don't. Neither one of us got those kind of relationships with people. I mean, it's Friday night. It's Friday night. I understand that people, if they do work, they had a long week, man. Plus they dealing with COVID. They dealing with their kids. They got a lot of stuff going on. So I mean, it's just probably up to us to like double down on trying to put our voices out there, because quite honestly, from a personal standpoint, man, I haven't done a lot of that. My brother Keith's been doing the lion's share of that, and one man can't play the orchestra. I make a lot of excuses as to why I can't do it or why I haven't done it, and I always say, well, I'm just gonna pick up my phone and go live. But every time I go to do it, I don't know. I mean, just the thought of doing this by myself, it's kind of overwhelming to me. You know what I mean? And whether that's hurting us or not, I can't say, but I definitely feel like I could lend a hand in putting this out there a little bit more. You know what I mean? But at this point, I don't want to put the fire before the match. We done good 32 shows right there, and I don't really know if that's enough experience under our belts yet. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, underlyingly, yeah, everybody wants to have a certain amount of success at this, but real stick, real success that has longevity, man, is probably gonna take some time, man.
Okay, Damon, what do you think?
I think, man, it's like Corey said. Some of it is because it's Friday nights, and people are doing things or whatever. But I think people have a tendency to watch us, afterwards, not live. We have our regulars, doing the live shows, but I think most of the time people watch afterwards, at their leisure. I think it'd be nice if more people commented. You know what I'm saying? I think the more people comment on the things that we're talking about is going to broaden that discussion. Listen to them, responding to them, spark somebody else and say, "Oh yeah, I didn't think about that." Then they chime in. Am I concerned about? It'd be nice if we could get a lot more people involved. Like you said, our mark is at 1,000. But I think people are involved, but they're just taking their time. I guess getting comfortable, taking their time doing whatever until they're ready to engage with us. I think we consistent. And they definitely can depend on us being on here. So, we just got to continue with our content. Hopefully we'll say some things that people are, want to chime in on. It's up to them though. They gotta come with it. We here and we consistent with it. So.
I mean, because to be perfectly honest, I'm right along with you guys, right? But I want to be clear about something. What we're doing because that's what we want to do. Okay, we don't have an agenda, right? But that it's that part of me that's there for other people that makes me speak out, and that's immaturity. That's why I posed the question more than anything. I'm not really vexed. As soon as we went live, other than the choppiness, as soon as we went live, my Jones was satisfied. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because partly it's because I'm doing it with you guys. Me personally, I understand that when it comes to like people, my life, like this last year or so, is a small fraction of what I've done in my life as being a person more than anything. I'm not relating it to activities and accomplishments or being a hero or being this or being that, but just being blessed enough to live my life more than anything. I'm like Andre 3000. The Armstrongs got something to fucking say. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because, and this is my personal opinion. It's not because we're smarter or I'm smarter. It's not because of that. It's because what we're doing is generating a conversation that no fucking body else is trying to do. The lane that we're in right now is why I always emphasize everyday people with everyday conversations, because these are the kind of conversations, and when we have our guests on, that our guests want to have, speak for themselves, and also when you do talk to somebody about it, is what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Of course, I want one of my favorite celebrities to come on and me fan the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But what good would that be to everyone else? See, that's my dilemma. This is why I kind of when it comes to our guests, and let me just tell you, the majority of our guests ask to come on our show, which that's some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's some real organic thing. They ask to come because they want to get something off their chest. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like, yo, everybody can't have these kinds of conversations because they either, one, close themselves off to the rest of the world, or two, felt like they elevated past these kinds of things, and three, they feel as though these things won't even matter to anybody else. You feel me? So Damon, last night when we were talking, do you remember the question that you had brought up, that we were bouncing around? I think it's about the alienation. If you can't remember, let me know. I can.
Yeah, read it back to me, man, because I saw you write it down.
You old ass.
Didn't you write it down, motherfucker?
I typed it. Shit.
Look here, when I was thinking about it and saying it, I was looking for a pen, I couldn't find one.
Look.
You said, hey,
no.
going.
What you look like is you were looking for a lighter to light your cigarette. That's what you was looking like.
Hey, you know what we was talking about? My question.
Yeah.
I kept thinking. All I kept thinking was, yeah, I'm Rip the Boom.
Ah, shit. All right, well, look.
Rip the Boom, Jack.
Basically, what we were talking about was, did we feel alienated because the norm for us as a community has been reconstructed? That refresh your memory, bro?
I think what I meant by feeling alienated, I should have phrased it differently, but what I was thinking when I was posing the question was, man, boy, sound like you pour something cold to drink, man.
Hey, you know what, man?
Sound like a commercial.
Hold on, man. Get to your point, then you know.
I was just like, man, because I'm thirsty, man. But I think what I was talking about is like when you looking at things on social media or TV, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Lately, I've been like, man, nothing is really speaking to me, man. You know, I feel like an old ass man. You know, feel like an old ass man talking about, why are they talking about that shit? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? What's the point in engaging in that topic when Do it really affect your life? I find myself doing that more often, man, than engaging. You know, and I was talking to my son, and we were talking about some of the things, and he was like, "Well, hey man, this is the reason why, Dad, you got to get with it." You know, so I just felt a little dated, man. I ain't gonna lie, I felt dated.
Is it because of the youth you felt dated, or the topic?
A little bit of both. As far as the topic's concerned, it's like I'm asking myself, why is that really an issue? You know what I'm saying? But that basically said that I'm in a good place in my life, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much coasting right now. So there's no real controversy. So why look for it?
Yeah.
You know, it's basically what I was driving at. You know, man, we can have discussions all day long, man. That's gonna get people to tune in. You know, controversial things.
Oh yeah, look, bro.
You know,
let me tell you something. To be honest with you, if people, I was getting ready to cuss. If people don't tune in out of love and respect, controversy, you got to what you have to do, and you've heard me say this before to you. What you have to do is continue to set that controversial standard. And some days you ain't gonna be feeling it. You feel what I'm saying? Because what people, to me, when it comes to the controversy, hey, the way that we chop it up, we controversial, period, right? But the thing about it is, I want full participation from our audience when we controversial. I don't want you to be watching it and waiting for what I'm going to say, because that's what's happening in all these podcasts. Yes, they are successful because of it, but then their fakeness come out of it. No disrespect to them, because not one of them can be that damn angry where you got at every show you finding some stuff to be.
Look, and that's my point, man. I could be talking about something that's like hot topic on all stations, media stations, whatever. That's hot topic, and I find myself listening and be like, man, I cannot. You know what I'm saying? I cannot engage in it, man, because it really doesn't mean anything to me, man. It really doesn't mean it to me. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't have a conversation, that I can't engage, but, you know, it's like, honestly, I just ask myself, why would I do that, man? Especially if I'm even killed, am I at peace with myself? I'm not trying to do that, man.
Before I let you chime in, Juquarry, Keith Barnes, what's going on, brother? Keith Barnes has some comments, man, and I think they kind of meaningful. You know, those of you, you know, it says some of us have a way of listening and being supportive, and we assume everyone else is going to make the effort to show support. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, that's a scientific fact, man. I mean, you know, it was a study made. I'm not quite sure when, but it was a study made, and it showed that when somebody's in distress and there's a crowd of people around, nobody will help that person because they think somebody else is going to help.
So the first one, okay. So look, and then he also come back to say, we will stand back and watch, Juquarry, this is for you, and see how much momentum or popularity is going to be gained. Standing by waiting, trying to decide if we want to jump on the bandwagon. What do you think, Damon?
That's honest. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think
I can agree with it too, man. But I really want to. I could agree with it too, man. But I really like to be a part of changing that narrative, man, because that, you know, that's that's like, you know, in all respect, Duke, Keith Barnes. That's like saying that black people love chicken and watermelon, man. That's, you know, it's just another way of saying that we don't support each other until you know, the situation becomes popularized amongst people, you know, within the other.
The
You
hell,
know what
we
I mean?
do love chicken and watermelon, man. Yeah.
I'm saying,
No, I'm not trying to give you a
I
hard
get that.
time, but I'm kind of trying to piggyback on what you're saying. It's like,
Well, piggyback then, motherfucker.
what you think I'm doing? Let me talk. Let me talk, man.
No.
But look, you gotta think about it. Just what you just said with the chicken and watermelon, man. Everybody like chicken and fucking watermelon, right? But they make us ashamed to like that shit. Let me give you a personal history about watermelon. And this is and chicken too. You know, God bless the dead, but my former college basketball coach had us over his house, right? Roy Chipman passed away. Real good guy, right? To a point, but it is what it is. So we're over there, we having fun. You know, he had the team over, had alumni over. You know, we eating and shit like that, right? He done have a couple brews, so you know. Be like that cartoon, you know, when you drink too much, your nose get red. So I'm a freshman, and he comes up to me and say, "Hey, Keith, how you doing?" You know, very engaging guy. "Hey, how you doing? Everything good, man? Relax." You know, and me, I had to learn how to relax, right? And he looks at me and says, "Hey, man, go grab you something to eat," right? So I guess he either tried to test my intelligence or he didn't think I had intelligence, because he said to me, "Listen, go in there, man. There's so much chicken and watermelon in there, man." I looked at this motherfucker, right? Excuse me. I looked at this guy. I said, "What?" Now I'm 18 years old now. I said, "What? Chicken and watermelon?" Now he looked at me like, oh shit, you got that. I said, "Coach, first and foremost, go ahead with that bullshit." And I walked away, right? And I didn't take it personally because, you know, in those days, in the early 80s, we were still under that kind of scrutiny. We would hear that kind of stuff. You feel me? And I told you guys this before, and this is the first time I ever said it out loud, and it's on this platform. Look, when I said it, you see I laughed, right? Because this shit was funny in the sense that you really think that I'm that dumb to let that fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And I could have went back, but see, understand something. I made a promise to be a University of Pittsburgh student, and foremost a Pitt basketball player. It was enough to check him like I did. You feel me? Then I moved on. Because what it was is, it surprised him, and he looked at me for the rest of my 4 years there. He always looked at me out the side eye like, "Yo, this dude," because I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to respond to that. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting up there sober, so I'm clear. You know what I'm saying? So if I was sneaking beer because I was 18, so, you know, it ain't want to, you know, mess no situation up. But if I, you know, had a couple 40s, it would have been ugly, man. It would have been ugly, you know? But see, that was my expectation of the world. But
Well,
see,
bro,
that I want to go into that. I want to piggyback off of what I just said. That was my expectation of the world because we were taught to do what? We had to be at least 2 to 3 times better than our counterparts to make it. So our parents gave us the tools to survive. You know what I mean? So my question to you guys is how much did the world affect you growing up and now? How does it affect you? The view of the world of you and our community, how does it affect the man that you are today?
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I dealt with situations where overtly, man, I was made to understand that I didn't fit in. You know what I mean? And I went through a lot of head shit about that, but eventually, man, I became comfortable with it. Not being regular, not being normal, not being expected. And it's a signature, man. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can wear that skin. When you're set apart from the other, and you're set apart from your own man. You either isolate yourself or you become savvy to certain situations. And you learn how to move in those situations. You learn when you got to put the gorilla on and when you got to use a little sugar. I mean, every interaction is an interview, man. Every interaction, is a first impression. Doesn't matter how many times you've seen or spoken to this person, no matter who they may be. You're always proving something in their eyes, even if subconscious, even if they're not conscious of what they want you to prove to them. And I'm not just saying that's something that I go through. Everybody goes through that. But I don't experience life through everybody else's eyes. I can only tell you how I deal with things, man. And basically, man, I don't really have blanket judgments on people. Like the thing you just said about Coach Chipman and everything. I've dealt with things like that 1,000 times, man. 1,000 times, man. And
It was always
you
the
can either but you can either buckle or you could engage. See, I could tell you about several occasions where I've been called boy or big old so and so, you big old, you know what I mean? Just an inch away from nigger, and instead of me blowing up and getting my ass on my shoulders, I was mad, plenty mad, but I decided to stick around and engage, not with hostility, but with wit. And my intentions was never to change this person's point of view about how they seen black people. I don't care. Don't care one bit. But as far as the approach as far as their initial approach, I wanted to ensure that they were never going to pull that on me again. And if they the next time they interacted with a black man, they would think it'd be some kind of feel out process, because we're not all the same. We don't all buck dance. But we don't all burn the flag either.
Damon?
Man, with me, man, I would have made him feel uncomfortable as hell, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but your question though. I mean, answer the question for me.
Oh, as far as given the situation, man, I engage in how it's coming at me, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come up and say something fucking stupid, I'm checking them about it. That's just how I am. Like, hey, dude, the fuck do you mean, man? No, I want you to explain it. You, from the gate, you came over to offend me, huh? So that's the type of motherfucking heat you want? Okay? You ready for that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not loud, I'm not obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, man, you can keep it to ourselves and go outside and handle our business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna disrupt nobody else but your dumb ass with the dumb bullshit you just brought to me. I'm engaging it, man. I'm not even gonna hold you up. Motherfucker, where you get the courage to do that? Motherfucker, you really think you must be strapped, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You must be holding something, man, because that shit you just did, boy, really put you in some fucking danger. You understand? You don't know me, man.
I tell you what.
You telling me by looking at me, you that comfortable?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Ain't happening, man.
I made you feel that comfortable that you think you can say that stupid shit to me? All right, let's have some fun with this, right? I got a couple things growing up. I want you to. I'll start just to give you an idea of, as far as how to answer this question. Growing up, because you grew up at the time, everybody, the three of us grew up at around that time when, bias was still overt. It was still thrown in our faces, right? So, when was the first time you were confronted by you being black in America? Okay? I'm going to go first. I was in the 5th grade. First time I was away from the house, I went to camp. Right? Overnight camp. We was there for 4 days? A week or so, 5 days. So I'm in a cabin, and this is purely for story sense, with me, one black guy, and 10 other white guys, right? I'm still nervous because I ain't never been away from home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to sleep like this with the cover over my head every night because we in the woods. You know what I'm saying? So we in cabins, but when the wind blows, it's 60 degrees or 70 degrees. That wind is blowing through them walls, right? So one day, maybe day 2 or 3, they started clicking up. So I was quiet and I'm just watching stuff. Still a little nervous. They started clicking up. So one of the more boisterous ones, he became the leader to those guys, right? He started trying to mess with me and the other black kid there. He's like, yeah, man, we like to see a whole lot of movies. Keith, you ever seen Boss Nigga? I said, huh? You know the movie Boss Nigga? That's the actual movie, though. Blaxploitation, Boss Nigga. Whoever watching this, Google it. You ever seen Boss Nigga? And he kept saying it. And I was a quiet kid, but that word coming out of, even though he's a young kid, coming out of a white mouth, oh, that infuriated me. So after the 3rd time asking me if I seen Boss Nigga, I said, and then I wasn't really up on fluently cursing, right? I said, and any my white friends on Facebook see this. This is purely story. I said, you old Peckerwood, if you say nigga one more time, I'm gonna kick your ass right up in here, right? And he and I was about the same size. But the fear that came through his mouth because I stood up. Now, I'm terrified. My heart like this. Boom, 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 right? I said, you Peckerwood? How you like me saying Peckerwood? Peckerwood! I remember it to this day, man, right? And he looked at me, his eyes as big as saucers, and he became apologetic. You know what I mean? Because we were just kids, man. We was in the 5th grade. He became apologetic. You know, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, and this, that, and other. You know, I was just asking you about the movie. You wasn't asking me about no damn movie. You know what I mean? And I said, I bet you ain't even see it. And yo, you know what's so funny about it? I remember us as a family going to drive-in, and one of the movies was Boss Nigga. And this life, man, if you pay attention to what life is about, you'll see how much fucking comedy is in life. Because I remember us going to see that shit. Now, if the guy was a brother who said that, I would have popped up in the bed, yeah, man, I seen it, man, and, you know, going through each scene by scene. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to make a point here. What I'm trying to do is let you know that was my first experience. I can go ahead and chime in.
Well, the first time I knew that I was black, man, you know, I went to Fletcher Elementary School, right? And, you know, Chapel wasn't no more than, what, 2-3 blocks away from where we lived? Yeah. Chapel Elementary?
Yeah.
They had Chapel Elementary, they had Artist Elementary, right there. And I could have, you know, I could have walked there.
Yeah.
But I was a part of the grand experiment, right? And I was bussed across town to Fletcher Elementary School, right? Now, I'm in the 3rd grade, and I remember the day, man. It was picture day. You know, and you know how black folks, you know, show out on picture day, right?
Yeah.
So you got rows and rows of white kids, and rows of black kids, and the majority of the black kids, they faces is shining because their mama put Vaseline on their face for picture day, right? There was a teacher who was stationed at the bottom of the stairs leading up to the stage to where the pictures was taken, right? And her job was to wipe the black kids' faces. Her job was to wipe the Vaseline off the black kids' faces, right? That was number 1. Number 2, that same day, I don't know how prevalent this was, but on picture day in elementary school, we always got combs, the little ace black combs, right? The little plastic ones, right? Well, yeah. Well, they gave the little black kids the little ace plastic picks. And I was like, I'm in the 3rd grade, but I'm like, what in the slavery fuck is going on around here?
Man, look. I mean, but around that time, though, when you was that young age, the afro was still prevalent. So I give him at least a B- for effort, though. You know what I mean?
He probably felt good about it. Yeah, I'm gonna give him this pics. Yeah, so you know I'm hep.
Look. Did you hear the music when they was handing it to you?
Man, all that shit.
It's comedy.
Hey
Damon.
man, you know what, man?
Go ahead.
Before we move on, man, you know what really fucked me up about my childhood, man? One of the major things that really fucked up my childhood, man, was the fact that, man, I ain't never buy no goddamn pictures, man. I ain't never
Buy
get to
what?
buy no damn pictures.
Oh,
I only dealt with the free ones. They give you some free ones.
None of that shit was free.
I used to get free
You always had to buy that shit. I had I bought pictures like 3 times, man. Like the 5th grade, the damn 7th grade, and I don't know when else, man. But I look so different in all my damn school pictures, man. You know.
let me see. I had a brown sweater. When we was at we was in Detroit. I had a brown sweater. That was my first picture day. Our mom always had our pictures, and then that was the only time that she bought the pictures and shit. Cause we always went to Olin Mills. So she didn't really, you know what I mean? Mama was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So Damon, talk to us, man. When did you?
The first time I ever heard somebody white say nigger to me, it was me and you. When we was playing with our friend, and his brother came down and had us in the car talking about, said, "Why did you beg my squirt gun, nigga?" You don't remember that? You remember my man did that?
I do.
Man, that was the first time I ever been called that, but I didn't care, man, about that shit. The thing that bothered me most, man, you know, I had a couple of friends, and their parents made me feel like, you know what I'm saying, less than. They would, like, if I go to their house and hang out or whatever, they would buy them ice cream, popsicles or whatever, and I was always left out. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Oh, you don't have any money?" You know, well, all them eating ice cream. Parents just say, "Hey, I don't like to buy him shit," and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't call me the N-word or nothing like that. They just excluded me. You know, and that made me feel. I wouldn't say angry, but I understood. I said, okay, this is how the world is. You know, so, and I did whatever I could after that to avoid that kind of shit. You know, but it wasn't the kids, man. It was the parents.
You could be taught that, man. You could be taught.
Yeah, I know.
That,
but the parents was overt with this shit.
My problem is you could be taught that, but my problem is there's too many eager motherfuckers out there to get taught that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was the parents, and it was always the mother.
Look, let me tell you, like me, I've always felt like the three of us have always been discerning people, right? So I'm gonna change it up a little bit because we could really go in on this shit, you know, this topic here, but I don't want to do that because it don't make a difference. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I was taught and I understood my assignment as being a proud man. And I was a black man and was always proud to be that. My whole life. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood what it meant to be poor. But I'm gonna tell you, I've had people, white and black, treat me shitty because they thought I was poor. So I realized that that's universal. So I ain't gonna blame no white people because, you know, our parents kept food on the table. But, you know, of course, being an extra large human being and also just the three of us trying, you know, as long as we ate, I was good. You know what I mean? But like I said, I want to lighten it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Because I thought we would have more folks on for questions. Well, Terrence, what's going on, baby boy? Love you, man.
Hey, before you move on from that subject, I will say this, man. You know, as you look how things are today, and you have parents that say, "Hey, we don't want these type of things taught to our kids because of the guilt thing and all that," which is understandable. I'm not. I'm not even going to
Man,
even.
bro, that's propaganda, man.
This is what I'm saying. I don't even care nothing about that because hey, that that's your child. You decide to do whatever the hell you decide to do. But when you want to talk about dealing with racism and that type of thing, you would be hard pressed to find a parent who did not have to deal with their kid coming home upset because it was called a nigger. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said it to say that there's a lot of hypocrisy there, man.
Of course.
There's a lot of hypocrisy there because, as far as I know, every young black kid has to deal with being called that or treated that way.
Hell, because every black kid had another black kid call them one, and try to say, oh, this is a term of endearment. I never let that shit fly. I mean, how it's that's partly hypocrisy too. Look, y'all know me. Y'all know I always had a problem with that word. You know what I'm saying? Always. Because I'm like, why would I call somebody that, but then when a white dude called me that, I want to choke the life out of him. So I had to meet the same, not as much of the energy, but as much as to check somebody like, hold on, man. We cool, but don't call me that. I've been doing that throughout my whole life. It is what it is. You know? Now, you and I, we always talked about, and we'll get back to this, Luke, but we always talked about the critical race theory, right? You understand that ain't nothing but some trying to get these senators and congressmen in office with that bullshit because they don't teach it in middle school or high school. They never have. It is a thesis paper. But what they're doing is right now, they're screaming, especially when they say, oh, I don't want my kids talking. Just shut up. Then don't talk about World War I, World War II. Don't talk about that shit then. Because that's basically what you're saying. This is your history. If it was true that people are stuck on that shit, but really and truly, it is some political clickbait, or whatever what is it, clickbait? That's what it is.
Yeah, man. But when somebody just outright tell a lie, man, you gotta challenge that shit.
Yeah. I agree with you. I just wanted to add that in there because it's like, come on, man. Y'all on that, but people will look at me like, hey, he has a point, but I don't agree with him because he don't know all the answers. You don't give a fuck. and I mean that in the sense that not to insult people when I say I don't give a fuck. No, I look at life in a logical sense, man, and I move forward. Like, we always been, well, let me put it like this. Let's change this shit up because this is the kind of stuff the three of us talk about together. I'm not insulting the audience, but I don't think our audience are prepared to have the kind of conversation we have when it comes to that shit. That's just my opinion.
Well,
and yeah, I'm challenging you guys when I say this shit. Reach out to me. Come on the show. If you feel you need to have this, come on the show. Come on the podcast, and we'll talk about it. That's real.
The atmosphere that we living in, man, crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? People speak words, but you got some crazy motherfuckers taking action. You know what I'm saying? Barricading themselves in rooms with little babies and shit.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? So we live in times, man, that's just fucking crazy.
And understand, Damon, Juquarry, and folks that's looking at this, I am not dismissing what Damon is saying, because he and I have always talked about this, and I've always agreed with what he's saying. But I also added, hey, this is what I think about it, because they trying, for some reason, and it's about money. When you're trying to dominate the Congress and the Senate, it's about money. They try to make it seem like it's some all-American, oh, we love the flag. You know what I mean? So, if you know, let's change this shit up, man, because like I said, you know, I'm not, you know, I posted something about, and I'm paraphrasing, being an angry black man, right? If you say something to make me angry, I'm angry, and I'm a black man. We have always been made to be ashamed because we have anger of our situation. Now, I'm going to speak from a real juvenile point of view. Is that shit fucking fair?
No, it's not fair, man,
It's
because
not. It's not.
you know, depending on who you are as a black man, we've never been able to govern our own anger, man. We've never been able to displace it at our leisure. Like, you know, like our white male counterparts. You know, they're like, if you take the movie industry, for instance, man, you know, the white male lead is always a certain archetype, right? He's always grizzled. He's always experienced in you know, some kind of rough activity, some kind of manly expression of who he is or whatever. But the black man is always comic relief. It doesn't matter what his particular skill set may be. You know, you take Ving Rhames and freaking Mission Impossible, right? He's a computer genius amongst the most skilled in the world. But he's dropping them jokes.
Yeah.
You know, what else? Another movie where, what's that one movie? The Eternals, the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
The dude that was in Atlanta or whatever. I can't call his name right now, but he was a master fabricator. He could make anything that came to his mind. But he was so flighty. He was so flighty, man, and so scatterbrained. He needed that strong male white figure to guide him and control him. Yeah. So I reiterate, man, we have never been allowed to govern our own anger and aggression.
Yeah, but let me just push back on this as a little bit. You gave me an example of the movie industry, right? But then what's frustrating is when you have a black producer and director make a movie in the exact opposite extreme. You know what I'm saying?
It sells.
And they got to make money. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to point fingers. That's the one thing I don't want to do. But I will say what's on my heart. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But look, these last 15, 20 minutes, I want to change it up a little bit, man, because like I said, we could really, we gave our audience, we gave them a break because y'all, the three of us could really go in.
No, we ain't, look here, man. We just skimmed the top of shit, bro.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
But
we ain't really get it, you know.
Let's do this. And this is a fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, on the three of our part, because we've been with our wives for a very long time, right? But the question is, If you were 30 years old right now, with the mind that you have right now, and you were 30 years old and single, would you get married or would you stay single? Somebody. Now,
I
is
couldn't
that
do it
a
again.
little too? Because understand, this don't have nothing to do with our spouses right now. So, but I'm saying if you were just single at 30 years old, I'll go first.
With the mindset that you have right now,
Yeah.
I'd probably be single, man.
Why?
Because at 30 years old, you starting to fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? You starting to understand the landscape, especially as a brother. You know what I'm saying? You starting to understand the landscape that you're going into. And I think I'd have been a lot more disciplined in terms of personal goals. You know what I'm saying? I'd really took some chances. You know what I'm saying?
Homie.
Hell, huh?
Homie. We are talking about single. I understand the other stuff, financially and stuff like that. I want to focus on this thing. That's why I said I want to change it up.
You said if I was single?
Single, meaning Damon Armstrong. When it comes to the women of our community and other communities, would you say the mentality what we old heads perceive that the dating scene is now? Would you be single or would you have somebody? And why?
I would have somebody's.
You say plural, huh?
Yeah. Shit. I mean, at 30 years old, man, at least at 28 years old, man, I was still trying to live somebody else's dream, man. I was chasing what made other people happy. I had no idea what made me happy. So at 30, at 30 with the head I got right now, I probably wouldn't be any more financially stable than I am now, but I'd definitely be much more worldly.
The way I would answer that is I can't say that I would be single or I would be with somebody, but I would take my fucking time. And I say that to say that even when I was a young boy, right, I had to like the woman that I was involved with. I had to look at her as a friend before I became involved in anything, right? So when I look at things now, and from my small world, being 57, it's all extreme because it's all social media stuff. You know what I mean? I would not have the patience with somebody who, in the first date, while we out eating, it's okay to ask me what I do for a living, right? But you're not going to count what's in my pocket. You know what I mean? And just like I said, that's what it seems like the extreme. I would love for a young lady in her 30s right now to really tell me whether it's true or not. But what I see, because I don't feed into what I see. I have to experience it. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I cannot be around superficial people. They are not for me. Right? Because if you're telling me, and forgive me for my graphicness, right? On this hand, you have companionship and the one thing that, our carnal side desires, you trading this for 3 or 4 bills to be paid on time every month while I'm paying my bills. That is an uneven trade. And it puts me in the mind of, and forgive me, but I'm being honest, of purchasing someone's attention. Now,
Well, I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I get what you're saying, man, but I think it's everybody's right to secure resources, man. I mean, if a woman has if a woman has enough, if a woman sees enough into you to want to spend time with you, to get to know you, I mean, quite naturally, one of her questions is going to be, are you financially able to take care of it? Are you
Right.
financially able to hold up your end?
Now, that second half of that statement, I understand that. But when you said take care of me, that's what I just said. I'm trying to understand why you feel as though for me to be with you, I have to prove that I can take care of you. Now,
That's the law. That's the law of the jungle. Can you secure resources? Once those resources are secured, can you hold those resources? How much of those resources are you willing to share with?
how much is the resource that they willing to share with me? That's a question that actually breaks down whatever that was being built. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, I'm not telling you to put your, believe everything I tell you or anything like that. You fucking know me. But it's all shortcuts now. But just like I said, I'm only getting the view from social media that's being pumped in everyone's head. You know what I mean?
But you started the question out, man. If you had the mindset at what you have right now, and you're 30 years old, you said, will you be single or would you have somebody?
Yeah.
I said, man, I'll be single and I'll be going after my shit. My goals. You poo-poo my shit, man.
Is that what I did?
You poo-poo. I'm not even looking at social media. I told you what I would be doing. I would be all the things that I wanted to do. I'll be grinding for that shit.
But is that the actual question though, dog? That's what I was saying to you. I said, would you be single? Because you gonna
I said yes.
You're gonna go after your bag anyway. Well, you ain't elaborate. All you did was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be single. But
and with my mindset, this was what I would be doing.
You look like this. I'm gonna own property, and when and I'm be in the stock market. And
I ain't say that. I ain't say that.
You alluded to it.
Well, that's because that's what you got for, but that's not what I was talking about.
What were you talking about?
But what if I wanted to become a minister, man, and preach about God? Huh? What if that's what I wanted to do, man? What if I wanted to, go do this here and do that there?
Such and such a thing here, such and such a thing
You understand me? I want to travel the world, man, and study abroad.
Let's switch it up real quick.
That's what I'd be doing.
All right, same question, and the age you are right now. Would you be single, or would you find somebody at the age that you are right now?
I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing, man. Damn, boy, that was uncanny. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I said This is gonna be something I was only gonna do one time, man. I mean, I did it, and I gave it 20 years, and
Right.
shit. After them 20 years is gone, I don't know what the hell we gonna do.
Yeah. The expiration date is coming.
Yeah, shit. I mean, hell, I can barely walk up the stairs now.
Listen,
Every
you
time,
sitting
every time she get mad, she jump at me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
there.
Well, you get you one of them shillelaghs, them little small shillelaghs, man,
Yeah,
for protection.
Yeah.
for protection. Yeah, cause she be attacking the gout foot and shit.
Oh man,
But yeah, man, punching all on my goddamn sciatic nerve and shit. I'm like, man, Lord, please don't let me kill this woman.
look here, that's a real threat.
Playing this shit. I see it. I told her, hell, when I play, it's fun when I play.
Yeah.
This ain't fun to me.
Look here, man. You said she punched the gouty foot. That's malicious, bro.
Yeah.
That's malicious.
One time I hadn't had a gout, man, about a gout, man, in damn near a year. And she messed around playing and shit, man, and hit that big right toe. It started a goddamn attack. I said, man, I ought to leave this motherfucker right now.
Oh Lord have mercy. Ooh-wee.
Just gone. Just pack up a bag and just leave.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, she did go out to the Sam's Club and get the goddamn cocaine. So hey,
Got the medicine, huh?
what I'm gonna do?
He takes care of me.
Yeah.
But look, basically, just letting everybody know the goal today was just to let them hear, let our audience hear what we have to say. You know what I mean? Especially myself. That's my goal. You know what I mean? As always, you guys have always had, some great things to say, and I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Just to answer my one question, if I was 57 and single, I'd stay single, because I'm only going to get married one time. You know what I mean? And that's it. Fuck it. That's it. I just wanted to answer that. But what we're going to do, I'm going, guys, when you see this later, because we don't got nobody on here, but guys, when you see this later, go to our YouTube channel, Strong Perspective Podcast, subscribe, give us something. You know what I mean? Just out of respect. And really not respect, but it'll take you 30 seconds to subscribe. Because our first objective is 1,000. So we're gonna thank you ahead of time. I want to thank everybody who came on. Steve Barnes, Terrence, Paul Mack Radio. You know what I mean? And we're gonna see you next week. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna close off the last 5 minutes on Speak On It Strong. Damon, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Well, I'm gonna speak on how I've been, the way I've been this last week. My wife been on vacation, and me and her has been spending a lot of time together. And man, you talking about peace, man? Just a peaceful week, being with your friend, the person that you hang out with. No drama, no issues, and it's just like, man, what we gonna do today? Hey, let's go get some ice cream and sitting in the park eating ice cream, knowing everybody, kids are safe, family safe, ain't nothing really jumping off. It's been a damn good week for me, man. A damn good week, and I think that it came right on time. All it required was my wife to take some time off work, and us to be about us. So I can't remember the last time I was this at ease, man. Real talk. Hell, my gout even flaring up. I don't care. But real talk, man. I mean, I appreciate this feeling. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't that, that's about what I have, bro. But, I'm just speaking what I'm feeling. Relax, at peace, man.
Tell sister-in-law put that frying pan down.
Frying pan, hell, she got that goddamn automatic 12 gauge over there. You better say something about me.
You better say something.
All these kids, man.
Well, hey, any last words, guys, before we end this episode? Quan?
Come back to me, man.
I gotta come back to you so you can say goodbye.
No, you don't.
All right, Damon, go ahead.
Man, I'm like you, Keith. I ain't got no rye, but I got me some bonitos over here.
Yeah.
Mix me something up, my woman something up. We just sit around slurring, watching movies out of Ghana, soap operas.
Get her some of that joke.
I got you.
You talking about that syrupy ass
Joke was the first energy drink.
Yeah.
And I remember that time y'all lived in Albany or whatever. She drank 2 of them motherfuckers. It was just off the wall. I'm like, damn. I need to go. I got to go home.
Shit. Hey, I ain't gonna front her off tell everybody about the time she was drinking that malt duck.
It's so sweet. Juquarry, you got anything before we sign off, brother?
Hey man, it was good touching bases once again this week. Get some things said, get some things off our chest. God willing and the well don't rise, we'll see you next Friday.
Info. We'll see you next Friday. And the Strong Perspective Podcast. Like and subscribe at the channel. YouTube, baby. All right, you guys, audience, people out there, enjoy your weekend.